This module has been prepared to have a better understanding of aggregate demand and its components, mainly consumption. So, to start with, we already know about the circular flow of income, where there are four sectors of the economy, and the money flow and real flow takes place between these four sectors of the economy, that is, households, firms, government, and rest of the world. Have a look at this diagram to have a better understanding of circular flow of income. As you can see that income is flowing from firms to households mainly, and out of that income a part of that income is flowing again back from households to firms in the form of consumption, and a part of that income is saved by the households. हाउसहोल्ड्स जब फर्म से इनकम रिसीव करते हैं उसका एक पार्ट वो गवर्नमेंट को पे कर देते हैं टैक्स. तो हाउसहोल्ड्स की इनकम में से व्हेन वी सबट्रैक्ट टैक्सेस what we get is disposable income, and out of that disposable income households incur consumption expenditure and also save. So you can see that blue arrow is showing the savings. This is that part of income which is being utilized by the households for savings out of their disposable income, and a part of that is flowing to the firms in the form of consumption expenditure. In this module, we will mainly be talking about these two functions. Number one, the consumption function, and number two, we will be talking about savings function. So, to start with, first and foremost, the definition of aggregate demand. It means the total demand for final goods and services in an economy. When I say that it is the total demand, it's basically the total expenditure. That means what households are willing to spend to buy goods and services to satisfy their wants. वो एक्सपेंडिचर जो हाउसहोल्ड्स कर रहे हैं ड्यूरिंग अ पीरियड ऑफ 1 year और फाइनेंशियल ईयर to purchase all goods and services. This includes all goods which are either durable, semi durable, or non durable. So, the components of aggregate demand, which I'll not be covering in detail in this module, but in a nutshell, there are four components of aggregate demand. Number one, this is the consumption expenditure, which is incurred by households. Then, next, we talk about investment. This investment is incurred by the firms. Number three, the third component of aggregate demand is the government expenditure, which is incurred by the government sector. And last component of aggregate demand is net exports. As I told you that this module we will mainly concentrate on consumption function. We will not be talking about the components of aggregate demand in detail. The first component, household consumption expenditure. Second component, investment expenditure. Third component, government expenditure. And fourth component, net exports. Now coming to consumption function. Actually ये consumption function है क्या? This consumption function shows a relationship between consumption and income. और जब हम consumption और income का relationship लेते हैं, we know this very well कि इसका पहला feature है कि consumption and income are positively related. What I mean by this is that in case there is rise in income, consumption expenditure will also rise, or there is fall in income, consumption expenditure will also fall. This shows a positive relationship between consumption and income. The next feature, when there is an increase in income, for example, let's say my income increases by 100. So delta y is 100. Now this entire 100 I'll not be spending for consumption. What I'll be spending for consumption is a part of that. For example, we are just assuming that with change in income, there is change in consumption. 50% of this, that means 50, I'm using for consumption expenditure. And out of this 100, I'm saving 50%. तो अगर मुझे 100 या 1 यूनिट का राइज मिला है इनकम में, उसमें से 50% मैंने कंजम्पशन पे स्पेंड कर दिया और 50% सेविंग्स पे स्पेंड कर दिया. So this implies that as income is consumption plus savings, आपको एक चीज बताई थी शुरू में सर्कुलर फ्लो ऑफ इनकम में कि जो इनकम हाउस होल्ड्स अर्न करते हैं, डिस्पोजेबल इनकम जो टैक्सेस देने के बाद बच जाती है, इज यूज फॉर कंजम्पशन और सेविंग्स. एंड दिस चेंज इन इनकम, in this example, as change in income we have assumed to be 100, change in consumption will always be less than change in income. Why? Because this is a psychological law of consumption. A part of increase in income is used for consumption and a part is used for savings. Moving ahead, even if my income is zero, a part of consumption expenditure exists. अगर हमारी इनकम जीरो है तब भी मिनिमम सर्वाइवल के लिए हम थोड़ा सा कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर करते हैं, मिनिमम कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर विच वी कॉल एज ऑटोनोमस कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर. This autonomous consumption expenditure is the minimum consumption expenditure that exists even at zero level of income. That means this is that part of consumption which is not dependent on income. That is why it is called autonomous consumption. It is that part of consumption which is not dependent on income and it's called autonomous consumption and it is always positive. ये जो मिनिमम कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर है ये हमेशा पॉजिटिव रहता है. हैव अ लुक एट दिस टेबुलर प्रेजेंटेशन. एज आई टोल्ड यू, व्हेन इनकम इज जीरो, minimum consumption expenditure is 100. As income rises from 0 to 700, our consumption expenditure rises from 100 to 660. हर लेवल पर वो 80% इनकम का कंजम्पशन के लिए ये कंज्यूमर स्पेंड कर रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स आउट ऑफ अ पर यूनिट इंक्रीज इन इनकम of rupees 100, consumption rises by rupees 80 at every level. Now, a new term which I'm introducing is marginal propensity to consume. It is defined as change in consumption. Change in consumption means delta C per unit. Per unit means we divide that per unit change in income. And as I told you initially that delta C is always less than delta Y. एक पार्ट जो इनकम का इंक्रीज होता है उसे हम सेव भी करते हैं, इसीलिए इंक्रीज इन इनकम इज ऑलवेज ग्रेटर देन इंक्रीज इन कंजम्पशन. तो एमपीसी की जो वैल्यू है वो पॉजिटिव होगी हमेशा. पहली चीज पॉजिटिव क्यों होगी? बिकॉज ऑफ पॉजिटिव रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन दिस न्यूमरेटर एंड डिनोमिनेटर. ये न्यूमरेटर है डेल्टा सी और डिनोमिनेटर है डेल्टा वाई. इन दोनों के बीच में एक पॉजिटिव रिलेशनशिप है, इसीलिए एमपीसी की वैल्यू हमेशा पॉजिटिव आएगी और आई कैन से इट विल ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन जीरो. दूसरी चीज, अभी हमने बोला कि डेल्टा सी इज ऑलवेज लेस देन डेल्टा वाई. दैट मीन्स डेल्टा सी न्यूमरेटर divided by delta y, that is denominator. अगर न्यूमरेटर हमारा डिनोमिनेटर से छोटा है तो ये वैल्यू हमेशा लेस देन 1 होगी. सो द वैल्यू ऑफ एमपीसी, द वैल्यू ऑफ एमपीसी is always less than 1. So this is about MPC. MPC कभी भी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता और MPC कभी भी वैल्यू 1 से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकती. इन दिस शेड्यूल एज चेंज इन कंजम्पशन 100 से 180 आए हम, तो चेंज इन कंजम्पशन कितना है? 80. एंड 0 से 100 आए अगर हम, तो चेंज इन इनकम इज 100. दिस इज इक्वल टू 0.8. Similarly, when from 180 to 260, 180 to 260, again change in consumption is 80 and change in income is 100. This is equal to 0.8. It's not necessary that it will always be positive, but we have assumed, I'm sorry, it will remain constant. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहेगा, बट हमने इसे कांस्टेंट अज्यूम किया है यहाँ पर. Now from this we have derived an equation, consumption equation. C is equal to C bar plus BY, where the C is consumption expenditure, C bar, ये जो C bar है, this is autonomous consumption, and B is MPC, that is delta C by delta Y. एग्जाम्पल जो है कंजम्पशन इक्वेशन का, दैट इज C इज इक्वल टू 100 प्लस 0.8y. इसका मतलब इस एग्जाम्पल के अकॉर्डिंग हमारे ऑटोनोमस कंजम्पशन की वैल्यू है 100 और MPC की वैल्यू है 0.8. नाउ प्लॉटिंग दिस विद द हेल्प ऑफ अ डायग्राम, हमने y एक्सिस पे लिया है कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर, आई एम सॉरी, x एक्सिस पे लिया है कंजम्पशन इनकम और y एक्सिस पे लिया है कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर. ये ओरिजिन से पॉजिटिव, ये इस लेवल से जहां से कंजम्पशन फंक्शन स्टार्ट हो रहा है, ये शो कर रहा है ऑटोनोमस कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर, एंड दिस इज आल्सो द इंटरसेप्ट ऑफ दिस कंजम्पशन कर्व. एंड दिस rising part, this rising part of consumption curve is measured by, ये जो चेंज हो रहा है y एक्सिस पे डेल्टा y बाय डेल्टा c, y एक्सिस पे चेंज हो रहा है कंजम्पशन में, सो इट इज डेल्टा c बाय डेल्टा y, एंड दिस इज इक्वल टू MPC. इसीलिए कंजम्पशन कर्व के स्लोप को हम बोलते हैं मार्जिनल प्रोपेंसिटी टू कंज्यूम. Now I am introducing another term, that is average propensity to consume. Average propensity to consume. Average propensity to consume is defined as consumption per unit of income. That means APC is equal to C divided by Y. APC is C divided by Y. कंजम्पशन हमेशा पॉजिटिव रहता है, दैट मीन्स न्यूमरेटर इज ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव, तो एपीसी भी हमेशा ग्रेटर देन 0 रहेगा. एपीसी विल ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन 0 और विल ऑलवेज बी पॉजिटिव. So formula for calculating average propensity to consume is C by Y. In this tabular presentation, as you can see, यहाँ पर कंजम्पशन हमारा कितना है 180. 180 is the consumption and how much is income 100. APC का यही फॉर्मूला है C upon Y. So C upon Y is 180 by 100. This comes out to be 1.8. Similarly, next 260 divided by 200. 260 को 200 से डिवाइड किया, क्यों किया? क्योंकि 260 क्या है C और Y क्या है 200. तो 260 divided by 200, this comes out to be 1.3. Similarly, you can see that in this table we have calculated the values for APC. Last value को check कर लेते हैं एक बार. C की value है 660 and income की value है 700. I'm calculating average propensity to consume. So 6.6 divided by 7. This is 0.94. 0.94. One more thing which you must have noticed in this schedule कि APC की वैल्यू जब इनकम 100 थी तो 1.8 थी, इनकम जब 200 हुई तो ये 1.3 हो गई, जब इनकम 700 हुई ये हो गई 0.94. What does this show? the value of APC declines. The value of APC declines with rise in income. And moreover, one more thing, APC is always positive. सारी values आपको positive दिख रही हैं. कहां तक आपको APC greater than 1 दिख रहा है? APC is greater than 1. यहां तक from 1.8 till 1.05, APC is greater than 1. Why? Have a look. Consumption is greater than income. जब तक C is greater than income, APC is greater than 1. And when we move on to the next level, that is where APC C is equal to Y. C की value 500 और Y की value 500. So APC is 500 divided by 500. 1. APC की value 1. So APC is always positive. APC is greater than 1 when consumption is greater than income. APC is equal to 1 when consumption is equal to income. And APC is less than 1 when consumption is less than income. And APC declines with rise in income. So this is because per unit change in consumption is always less than per unit change in income. Now we will have a look at the differences or the comparison between MPC and APC. The definition for MPC is that it refers to change in consumption per unit change in income. Formula is delta C by delta Y. Average propensity to consume is consumption per unit of income. So APC is equal to C by Y. MPC cannot be more than 1 as change in consumption cannot be more than change in income. और जो MPC की values की range है, that is between 0 and 1. Whereas APC can be more than 1. कब होगा APC more than 1? When consumption is greater than income, then APC can be more than 1. Similarly, APC can be equal to 1. Kab? When C is equal to Y. And the fourth difference, when income rises, MPC falls. हमने assume किया था यहाँ पर constant, लेकिन MPC fall होता है. जैसे जैसे income rise हो जाती है, वैसे वैसे a tendency to consume decrease होती जाती है. जैसे जैसे income rise होती है, हमारी नीड्स फुलफिल हो जाती हैं, तो हमारा कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर उतना चेंज नहीं होता है. बट इट फॉल्स एट अ रेट मोर देन दैट ऑफ एपीसी. इसीलिए जब इनकम राइज होती है, एपीसी फॉल्स एट अ रेट लेस देन दैट ऑफ एमपीसी. एमपीसी इज ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव, एपीसी इज ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव. दिस इज द सिमिलैरिटी बिटवीन द टू. So that's all for this module. Till the comparison between MPC and APC, the next module we will derive the savings curve from consumption curve.